þemadagar.
So, today is my birthday, so I just want to talk about something fun today in this video. And I just happened to find a particularly funny article on the online publication of Feministafélags HÍ that I just wanted to share with you. So, it's about the vagina days at the University of Iceland. Or as the headline says, we have a vagina all year round. So, apparently the Feminist Club, Feminist Association, Félag, what would that be? Feminist Company? Company of Feminist? It's not a corporation, but I guess a club or something. Anyway, let's just call it the association. So the Feminist Association of the University of Iceland are having their usual theme days, basically an open day where they, have seminars, talk about feminist-related things, I suppose. And recently they decided to rename their set theme days to the vagina days. Interesting name choice. So let's just read part of this article from Feministafélags for you. So according to markmið she is the secretary of the Feminist Association at the university. Oh yeah, I'm gonna read this in Icelandic, I'm just gonna subtitle it. I think it'll be easier for the humor to get across that way. I say humor because I don't know whether or not it was intentional, but but it's a funny article, what can I say? Píkudagar, Feministafélags Íslands verða í fyrsta sinn haldnir í ár. Dagarnir hafa áður verið haldnir undir formerkjum túrdaga. Oh, wow. En í ár ákvað stjórn félagsins að víkka út umfjöllun til að bregðast við breyttri samfélagslegri umræðu. Breyttri samfélagslegri umræðu. Well, I must have missed out on that. I haven't noticed people talking about vaginas many more than usually. Anyway. So, direct quote by Markmið. Vegna þess að það komin aðeins meiri samfélagsleg umræða túr, þá fannst okkur nauðsynlegt að víkka þetta þannig að það væri talað píkuna í heild sinni. Sandra, formaðurinn okkar, orðaði þetta vel þegar hún sagði: Við erum með píku allt árið, en flestir eru ekki á túr allt árið. That part is true. Segir Benediktsdóttir, ritari Feministafélags HÍ Íslands í samtali við Fréttablaðið í dag. Hún segir að markmiðið sé einnig að auka umræðu almennt píkur og að ýta undir að fólk noti orðið píka þegar talað hana. Why? First of all, whenever you happen to be talking about somebody's vagina or whatever's, or somebody's genitals, is the wording that important? And I think most of the time, again, the Icelandic word for vagina is píka. I think that's the word you usually hear. But yeah, also, why is that a focus point? What people call theirs or others' private parts. I don't quite know what they're getting at, but anyway, let's continue. Oh, she's getting right into that. Fólk notar svo mismunandi orð, eins og budda. I've never heard people use budda. Pjalla. Pjalla. I haven't heard pjalla, I've heard pjatla with a T. But I don't know, maybe that was a mispronunciation. Pjalla, who cares? Á meðan það hefur alltaf verið eitt orð sem notaður yfir tippi, Wrong. There's been many more Icelandic words than just tippi. Let's see. Göndull, skaufi, tittlingur, what was it? Besi, there was something with a B. I can't remember right now. I think that there was something that died out. But tittlingur, skaufi, eitthvað, tilli. Okay, I can't think of any more. Sprelli, my favorite. Sprelli. Það hefur oft verið feministmál. What, to talk about genitals? Well, yeah, it's kind of a... I mean, I've never been seated, you know, at the dinner table, having a nice steak with some friends or family and suddenly started talking about somebody's genitals, that's for sure.
Oh, by the way, Dad, I think I may have some genital warts. Do you have any ointment or something for that? Because I'm starting to really get itchy down here.
Mér fannst meira að segja erfitt að nota það og ég hef verið að venja mig á það. I think she's talking about píka. Píku pub quiz og píkudagar cocktail. Píkudagarnir verða formlega settir í dag, þriðjudaginn 27. mars, klukkan 17 í stúdendakjallarunum með píku pub quizi þar sem spurningarnar verða allar tengdar píkunni. Wow! That sounds amazingly exciting! Spurningarnar voru allar samdar af Margréti og hún segir að sigurliðin verði veglegir vinningar í boði. Að fyrir sigurliðin verði veglegir vinningar í boði. Það verður líka píkudagar cocktail sem verður hægt að prófa. Okay, I gotta plug something in here. You see, not related to this by any stretch of the imagination, but through a sheer coincidence, on my old YouTube channel I happen to have a video where I mixed a drink which I actually called the pussy juice or píkusafi. Who knows, maybe that's what they're serving there. But again, I'm just gonna cut to a clip of that video and put some subtitles to that as well, so enjoy that. You know, learn some drink mixing on Das Radical Iceland now. Og drykkur kvöldsins einn afar kvenlegur, svo þið sjáu hérna á innihaldinu, og hann heitir píkusafi. Ís, Smirnoff Ice, Smirnoff Ice. Það gat mikið sens, ekki satt? Cirka svona byssi við, síðan að ég var að koma síðan 2 skot í þetta. Það var 1 skot af megafinn. Þetta í úti. Og 1 skot. Og 1 skot af Bacardi.
Ég var að fatta að píkusafi.
Okej, gott jag þér. Nú líast maður svona. Wow.
The funeral planning.
Mér finnst það ekki fyndið í bæði því. Okay, veistu? Okay, so that was fun, I hope. Now, back to the article and, you know, these vagina days. Why am I even talking about this thing? Well, obviously because I find it to be a little bit ridiculous. Now, I'm not hating on the Feminist Association of the university or anything like that. I mean, if they want to get together and discuss vaginas or vagina-related matters or what words we use for vaginas, sure, whatever, do you, boo, I don't mind. But I just find this curious. I would have assumed that when a feminist association had some theme days where they get together and invite people over for discussions and panels or whatever it is that they do there, that they would discuss, oh, I don't know, gender equality, the Me Too movement, or something, which, by the way, according to some articles that I read, has actually been somewhat successful in Iceland. I mean, people are getting more aware on how people conduct themselves, you know, how the genders associate with one another and what behavior is acceptable and what not. There's been a real discussion about this. I mean, not just on, like, within media and, by politicians or stuff. Like, there's an actual social discussion about these things now, thanks to the Me Too movement. I've noticed it in my circle of friends. We're much more aware, I suppose, of what you say should or shouldn't do and how we need to look out for one another. So you would think that such a huge hot button issue would be more discussed, but what are the feminists at the University of Iceland doing? Talking about vaginas. How incredibly feminist of you. Yes, I guess that is what differentiates you all from men. The fact that you have genitals that are on the inside versus the outside. Yes, we're aware of that fact. Also, breasts, makeup products, long hair, a nice smell, and a higher level of cleanliness, which is a very good thing, by the way. But I don't know, to me this whole thing just seems kind of stereotypical. Like, this seems like the kind of thing that hardcore chauvinists would think that feminists do and talk about all day, you know. Let's just get together and talk about the fact that we have vaginas. Also, I feel like this, the focus is not where it needs to be. Like, I already mentioned the Me Too movement and gender relations and all of that. Or hell, even throw in some gender identity politics or gender identity discussions, which has really been taking off in the past few years. So the whole notion of feminism has become a little bit more obscure, since it is kind of incorporating all these gender pronouns and gender identity related things that I can't really discuss that well, because my vocabulary on this subject matter, especially English, really sucks, because I don't think about these things on a daily basis. I should also point out that, now I have heard, don't quote me on this because this is just the word on the street that I've gotten, that the Feminist Association of the University of Iceland is the most hardcore group of feminists that you can find in Iceland. Like, if basically if all feminists were Christians, then the University of Iceland Association would be like, I don't know, like the Westboro Baptist Church. I don't know, if all feminists were football teams, then they would be the Manchester United Football Club or something of that sort. So this is obviously not particularly reflective of every feminist in Iceland. And look, if they are discussing certain medical issues that revolve around having a vagina, then of course that is an important discussion. I would have assumed that people who have vaginas would already be somewhat on top of these things. So I don't know why they need to have these special theme days for this matter. But I also want to say that I find it weird that feminists, these particular feminists at least, are talking so much and wrapping their heads around things that divide the genders. Because I would have always assumed that feminism was about making the genders more equal. That women could do the same level of work just as men could. That they could rise through the ranks and take over large companies just as men could. That they can become politicians, CEOs, and etc. That we are all equal. But this seems to be focusing on much more about the things that make us maybe not unequal, but separate, which I don't get. I am also reminded of, I believe it was last summer or last spring, when a group of women, like this was an art project, so a group of women had pictures of themselves taken inside the halls of parliament here in Iceland, where they were standing in front of pictures or portraits of various important Icelandic political figures who were all dudes, and you know, to kind of making a statement that, you know, we are here as well. Oh yeah, and they post on these pictures naked, or at least naked from the top up, freeing the nipples, if you will. Now, I almost made a video about that piece of performance art, I suppose, at the time, because here's the thing about, let's, you know, do a little bit of art critique here. This was a brilliant piece of art because it got people talking, which is exactly what art is supposed to be. You know, I almost made a video about it, but then at the very last moment I backed out because I realized, oh my god, this piece of art really got to me. I was about to talk about it, make a rant about it, because, so yeah, it spoke to me at a level, so the art did exactly what it was supposed to do. However, the message of said piece of art was still incredibly fucking stupid, because, you know, here's the thing. So yeah, these young ladies were posing half naked in front of portraits of important Icelandic male politicians, saying, you know, saying that it is, you know, according to the artist, that it is unhealthy for the self-esteem of young women to look up on all of these like pictures and portraits of dudes, you know, who, you know, and you know, who supposedly have accomplished such great things. It makes us women feel lesser about themselves. Now, this would have made more sense if they just, I don't know, post with these portraits, you know, well dressed, you know, like, or, you know, like dressed for official business, or in whatever manner. But the fact that they post their naked, you know, exposing their breasts, kind of seem to show more, oh, look at our nipples here, we are also important. So you look at us posing in front of these important figures, you know, to remind ourselves just how important we are. So taking the focus completely away from the woman and just putting the focus on the nudity of women. So completely missed the mark in, like I said, great piece of art in the sense that I'm talking about it now, finally, and people back then were talking about it. But yeah, the whole message just became completely obscured. Because also, think about it, some of these, now I didn't go through the line of photos that they took, but we can assume that among them were, you know, pictures and portraits of leading Icelandic political figures, some of whom probably did a lot to improve the life for women in this country. Helped maybe to grant women the vote, helped maybe to set forth legislation for easier access of abortions, or you know, access to medical services that relate specifically to female-related issues. And so yeah, it took the. So, you know, they were just singling these politicians out because they were men. Not because, you know, not based on what they did or didn't do. You know, did they perhaps stand up for women? Did they help levitate women to the position where they are today? Or anything like that? No, we're just discrediting them because they are men, and therefore they have an unhealthy influence on women. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. If you have a role, this, and to me, it goes against the very idea of feminism, because, at least maybe my interpretation is just wrong here. Could be. Maybe I should call Hildur Lillenthal and ask her what she thinks. Maybe she tells me that I don't know shit and I should go read up on something. I have no idea. But yeah. Having a good role model in your life, the said role model could be a great role model for you to want to describe you would want to be like said role model regardless of gender. Maybe you look at some CEO regardless of whether he's a man or a woman and think, I want to be this person, or some political figure or religious figure or whatever. So yeah, I'm kind of getting the sense that feminism in Iceland is getting kind of backtracked into these weird subgenres, if you will, while the real focus should be on gender-related issues, and what I mean is, gender relations and the Me Too movement and etc. Okay, so this was a pretty weird way for me to spend my birthday, but yeah. Anyway, if you want to be very nice to me on my said birthday, you will, press that like button, maybe share this video, show this, instead of showing me personally some love, you will show this video a little bit of love. But you can also come over and show me some love. Yeah. I'm Johan Phoenix, and I'm a feminist, ladies. I have not had too many of these. This is the only beer that I have left. Liquor store opens in half an hour, so I can fix that. But I also got this, so I'm in. Whoa! Shit! That would have been a disaster if this bottle fell down and broke. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a nice day.
Das Radikal.